The gritty wind slaps your face like a searing whip. The sun shows no mercy. Under your feet lies an endless, shifting, unforgiving sea of sand. The camels sway in a steady rhythm, their shadows sliding across the dunes like shapes carved from black stone. In this world, where the horizon is just the next dune and water is more precious than gold, a caravan moves. The men are dressed in faded robes, their faces wrapped to the eyes against the ever-present dust. It feels as if the rest of the world has been left far behind, hundreds, even thousands of miles away across the silence and the heat. In Mauritania, on the border of sand and time, live a unique people, the Bidna. Known as the White Moors, they are descendants of ancient Berbers and Arab conquerors. They don't build cities, they live in the sand. And they have their own laws, not the ones written in the Quran, but those dictated by the dust, the sun, and the silence of the caravan. Here, in the heart of the Sahara, there's no room for our usual ideas of life. No soft beds, no fresh food every day, no easy conversation or life-saving shade. There is only the journey and the people on it. The desert isn't just a place to live, it's a brutal teacher, and its lessons shape their culture, their values, and even the most intimate parts of their relationships. For those of us living in a world of instant comfort, the very idea of a multi-day trek across the scorching sand seems insane. But for the nomadic Bidna, it's not insanity, it's life. Their existence is inseparable from the trials the elements throw at them. Here, every sip of water is a gift, and every moment of silence is a chance to hear your own soul. It is in these conditions of constant risk that customs are born. Customs that might seem strange or even shocking to us. But here, under the merciless sun, they are not quirks, they are the bedrock of survival. They represent a fine-tuning of human relationships that allows the group to withstand colossal stress far from home and from the company of women. Life in a caravan is a constant test. A test of the body's endurance, when every step is an effort and a gust of wind threatens to throw you off course. A test of the spirit's resilience, when the monotonous landscape weighs on the mind and the silence can become an enemy. A test of human relations, when people are forced to be side by side, 24/7, with no possibility of privacy. Here, every person is a link in a chain, and one weak link can doom them all. That's why internal harmony and a lack of conflict are vital. In the confines of a caravan, envy, anger, or resentment are like poisonous seeds. Weeks on the trail, monotonous food, infrequent rest stops. All around are only men's faces, men's conversations, men's worries. Tension builds, and it has to be released, not out of weakness, but because that's human nature when deprived of the usual outlets and the company of women, which Bidna culture traditionally sees as a stabilizing force. How do you release that tension in an all-male group, cut off from family and the familiar world? This question is the key to survival. A calm caravan is a successful caravan. Sometimes a woman, the wife of one of the men, would accompany them on the journey. In our world, her presence might spark jealousy and rivalry. But in the world of the Bidna, With her willing consent, she could become the key to peace within the group. If the woman agreed, she might share her bed not only with her husband, but with the other men of the caravan. In doing so, she gained a special status. She wasn't seen as a symbol of promiscuity, but as a symbol of wisdom and sacrifice for the common good, a stabilizing factor that extinguished the sparks of conflict. The purpose of this custom was to preserve the brotherhood of men and eliminate the seeds of envy that could grow if one man possessed what all the others were denied. In Benadi culture, this tradition is not taboo. The flesh isn't a source of sin, but a tool for maintaining peace and balance in extreme conditions. It is believed that when men are free from internal tension, they are better able to face dangers, find their way more accurately, and their prayers are stronger. A woman who helps achieve this calm is performing a sacred act. She is not an object, she is a peacemaker. For us, living by different rules, this is hard to grasp. Our first instinct is to judge, to brand it as immoral. But if we look at it through the eyes of the desert people, we see not a vice, but a wisdom forged in the crucible of survival. We see a different form of social organization, adapted to a place where our familiar rules don't apply. In a world where the heat melts the mind and isolation crushes the soul, relationships are built on laws written not on paper but in the sand, the laws of necessity and survival. In the desert, you don't fight each other, the elders say. You fight to keep going together. This fight is a constant work on oneself and on the group's dynamics. It's a refusal to hold personal grudges for the sake of moving forward. It's the understanding that true wealth here isn't what you own but what you can share. Water, knowledge, the burden of the journey, and sometimes even intimacy if it serves the cause of peace. We, the city dwellers, where the individual I is often placed above the collective we, can barely comprehend such a philosophy. Our morality forbids it, but if their culture of survival dictates otherwise, these nomads are living proof of humanity's ability to adapt to unimaginable conditions by creating unique social codes. Their otherness isn't weirdness, it's a testament to their strength, their mental flexibility, and their deep understanding of the world they inhabit. They remind us that our truth is just one of many, and that true wisdom is born not in comfort, but out on the trail. So, when the caravan finally reaches its destination and the dust that was its world for weeks settles, the lessons of the desert remain in the hearts of those who walked the path. The tradition that seems so shocking to us, a woman sharing herself with her husband's companions, is revealed not as an act of licentiousness, but as the ultimate form of social engineering, born of extreme circumstances. In a world where one wrong step or a flash of anger could cost everyone their lives, she becomes not an object of desire, but the keeper of equilibrium. Her sacrifice isn't a humiliation, but a sacred duty, protecting the brotherhood from the poison of envy and discord. The laws of the Bidna are not written on stone tablets, but on shifting sand. They are flexible, because life itself demands flexibility. They place collective survival above the individual morality we've come to see as universal. Where we build walls to protect the I, they build bridges of trust to preserve the we. Their culture isn't an excuse for vice. It's a recognition that human nature needs harmony, especially when surrounded by nothing but silence and heat. The desert teaches that true wealth isn't gold or property,
but the ability to share what is most essential: a sip of water, the warmth of a fire, spiritual strength. And sometimes, in the harshest of conditions, that essential thing is a peace of mind that is more precious than any taboo. Their journey is a timeless reminder that human wisdom has many faces, and what looks like savagery to us may, to them, be the height of civilization. A civilization born in the heart of the Sahara, where the only goal is to make it to the next oasis. Together.